Sony topped mirrorless camera sales in 2019 with almost twice as many sales as Canon. But far from being dead, DSLR still pulled in the bulk of sales. But where's Panasonic? Are they relegated to the other category? We also have an update on the Nikon Z6 and Z7 refresh and more speculation on the R5R and R5H. Let's get into it. Hi, I'm Simon. Thanks for tuning into The Ordinary Filmmaker. If you're new here, subscribe to get notification of new videos like this one so you don't miss any news, rumors, reviews, or tutorials. And don't forget, I'm giving away a brand new Canon EOS R5 full-frame mirrorless camera to one lucky viewers. Details can be found in the description down below or from watching this video here. I got a lot of good comments from you yesterday when I reported on the rumored R5R and R5H. A lot of viewers are excited by the possibility of these two camera ideas. And yes, I call them ideas for a reason. We don't have anything solid or concrete from Canon or even Canon rumors on either of these two bodies. The R5R, the name I've given to the high megapixel R5, is more likely. We've had rumor updates since late last year indicating that a high megapixel RF body is on the way. It's a logical upgrade to the 5D RS, and I strongly believe that we'll see this camera in 2021. But the R5H, did I say that right? The R5H, a video-centric R5 that provides better heat management, low light performance, and dynamic range is a little less likely, and those are the things we would certainly like to see, right? Well, we have no validation of this camera rumor, and it's the first we've heard of it. With the C70 due out at Canon Vision this week, and the C50 not far behind, I wait to see what they have to offer before I'd get too enamored with the thoughts of an R5H under the Christmas tree this year or next. So for a quick recap, a high megapixel camera in 2021 based on the R5 is highly likely. A video-centric camera is coming, but it's most likely a C50 or C70 that's being referenced. A video-centric version of the R5, a video hybrid camera, how should I say it? Inconceivable! Enough rumors and speculation. I have some very interesting sales figures from 2019. I was going to say 2099, but that's a long way off in the future. Media site Nikkei published the 2019 camera sales data with some surprising numbers. While Canon grew market share, their overall market share global in 2019 increased by 2.45%. But Sony led the way with 1.65 million mirrorless units, leaving Canon far behind in second place. And this isn't completely surprising, and even Canon admitted in their last year's financials that they came to the mirrorless market late. What's also of interest is how Nikon was a distant fifth place with only 280,000 mirrorless units, falling behind Fuji with 500,000 and even Olympus with 330,000 units. Notice anything else? Well, where's Panasonic? Their numbers are so bad that they're lumped in with the other category along with Pentax and, well, others. This means that Panasonic likely sold well under 200,000 mirrorless units, as you'll see in the next slide when we add up DSLR cameras to the total. Panasonic still doesn't show up with other coming in at 280,000 units. This explains Panasonic's recent strategic shift towards video. I'm not the only customer that's not sold on Panasonic's depth from defocus autofocus system. I mean, it's right in the name, depth from defocus. It never worked in the past and it's not working now. They're in desperate trouble if they don't turn the ship around. Now, Canon did dominate the overall market with 4.16 million units sold. That's all interchange mirrorless cameras, mirrorless and DSLR, with Nikon in second place with 1.73 million units and Sony closing in the gap with 1.66 million units. Nikon's hoping to increase their market share with an update to the Z6 and Z7. The updated Z6 and Z7 will have the same sensor, but have dual X-speed image processing engines, be capable of 4K 60, which is up from 4K 30, have dual memory cards, one of them being CF Express, which is very handy if you're shooting 4K video. The other slot, UHS-2 SD card slot. The Z6 will cost $1797, so no change there, while the Z7 will cost $2497. But rumor updates like these, well, that don't impress me much. I need to see more. What codecs are used? Is there a change in frame rates? What new capabilities does the camera offer over existing models? What issues have been fixed? Do we get 10-bit internal, or is that required? Well, not required. Do we have that externally through in a recorder? I'm not saying that Nikon Z6 or Z7 won't be good cameras. I really do like the Z6. It's an incredible camera and their autofocus is bang on. I'm just saying that this update, it really doesn't do much for the imagination. It doesn't give me a vision of what Nikon's trying to convey with these cameras. Either way, we'll know soon enough. They're due to be released any week now, probably in early October. In this episode of Behind the Scenes, I want to talk to you about how I put together my videos. In today's video, there's an awful lot of numbers and there's no way I'm going to memorize those, and if I do memorize them, I'm probably going to really bugger up the information as I try to speak it out later. In a lot of my videos, I'll use point forms, and my Q&A videos, well, they're not rehearsed at all. So how do I make this work? Well, I have a teleprompter in front of me, and it's the Glide Gear TMP100. I can't remember how much I paid for it, but I think it was around $199 US. But wait, there's more. You'll of course need a tripod to set the camera on with the teleprompter. Not surprising because I already have a tripod there for the camera. But wait, there's more. You also need some sort of device, like an iPad. I'm using the iPad, the 10-inch one. You could use a phone or an iPad mini or even an Android. The device doesn't matter as much as the software. And so I have software installed on there. It's teleprompt. Oh, which one is it? Let me take a look here. Prompt Smart. It's called Prompt Smart. Oh, what was that? I went to my phone here. So that's the next thing. So I've got a Prompt Smart as my teleprompter, and I use, almost knocked over a lens, that wouldn't be good, and I use the iPhone to control it. So right here, this is what you can see. I have up, down, and play. So I've since turned this one off, and what I can do is as I start reading through, if I goof anything up, I can stop it, I can scroll it back up, which is what I'm doing here. I can scroll it up, and then I start speaking again, all without having to get up. And this is really handy because if I get up, go to the teleprompter and move it up with my finger, it's a bit of a problem because now I'm going to sit down, it's going to be a different place, and when I have the jump cut, things are going to look a little weird. And by sitting in the same spot and using a remote to control the teleprompter, the big advantage I have is the jump cuts are going to look a lot smoother. I know what you're thinking. Yeah, but Simon, how do you get it to scroll? I didn't see you touching this at all. Well, you see, what I do is every so many frames, I freeze the frame, I advance it forward, and I freeze it again, and I cut out that frame. You don't believe that? No, it's not true. So Prompt Smart, I keep forgetting the name of it, Prompt Smart, they have a great little feature. It can actually listen to my voice. And I think they call it voice track. So as I speak, it scrolls. And if I go off topic, which I can certainly do, and I can ad lib and just have fun with it, it'll pause and it won't jump ahead. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it thinks I said something and jumps a few screens ahead. But then I just back it up, have a jump cut, and continue from where I left off. And I find that this is a very, very handy setup. So if you're doing long videos, or you're doing events and you want to have a teleprompter, well, if you've already got the camera on a tripod, the Glide Gear works really well. It's set up pretty easily. An iPad mini, or even an iPhone can work, but I like the iPad because it's really big. The camera's about 5 feet away from me, and the iPad's probably about 4 feet away from me, and it just works really, really well. And I can see quite clearly here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 7 lines on the screen with about 6 to 7 words per line. So it's very, very handy. I do have other teleprompter applications, but none of them have this voice tracker, and I'd say that makes a huge difference. And this application, I believe, cost me about $30 US. I think it was $27.99. And it's very, very handy. Now, to be able to use the remote control, you do have to pay a fee to them. Now, they didn't charge me for this. They've given me this feature for free, and I think its normal value is about $199 US a month. And when I first got the app, I really didn't see the purpose of it. I just didn't see the point to it. But having used it for a long time now, it's truly amazing. It's very, very helpful. I don't like having to put everything on a teleprompter because that means I have to write it ahead, I have to do some work, I have to rehearse it, go through it, make sure I didn't have any spelling mistakes. Because as you're reading it, even if you put in words that don't make sense, you tend to read it. You don't really think of what's being said. And it takes a while before you get to the point that you are listening to what you're saying. and analyzing at the same time, which takes a lot of effort. But when you're first starting out, no, you're just reading right off the screen. And because the camera shoots right through the screen, it's perfect. It looks like you're talking directly to your audience. So like I said, I use outside when I'm filming, I don't use any teleprompter at all. When I'm shooting inside, sometimes I use a teleprompter. Sometimes I just have it in note form and it works really well. And sometimes it's fully scripted. And usually the first 30 minutes are scripted as well. But that's it for now, guys. Thanks so much for watching The Ordinary Filmmaker. Don't forget to subscribe for your chance to win the Synco lavalier microphone and shotgun. I'll be awarding that once I hit 20,000 subscribers. And I'm also giving away the Canon EOS R5 full-frame mirrorless camera once I hit 100,000 subscribers. And every time I hit another 10,000 subscribers, I'll be having another prize. And the closer we get to 100,000 subscribers, the better the prizes are going to be. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.